Another catch up this week on the Beyond Worlds podcast, looking back over the past month.
What we've been reading, watching, and playing from Kingdom to Blue Lock, and an update on Path of Exile 2. So join us.
In another world. Welcome back to Beyond Worlds. While I rub my eye, I am Stephen.
And I am Beyond Joe. How are you doing?
Yeah, good man. Yeah, shit week, but you know, we persevere.
Persevere indeed.
We won't go into that, but we're here. That's what's important.
We are back on the podcast. Another episode.
I'm trying to see if you changed anything in the background. Sorry, I didn't do it.
I did give it a good dust yesterday.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't think I've changed.
That wouldn't be what it was. I couldn't remember if the Frankenstein thing was there before.
I don't know if you'd have seen it. It might have been a bit further back, or I think something else was there actually. So yeah, good eyes. It's like one of those.
I could be chatting shit. So someone correct me in the comments. Tell me I'm chatting rubbish.
One of those spot the difference books. I just got back from an antiques trip with my dad. He was like, let's go to some antique shops, and just to get us in. I found the first volume of Spy Family in an antique shop for £3. So I was just like, how random is this? Yeah, I'll grab that.
Why not? Yeah, sure.
So I got that and a little cute Jurassic Park figure. So maybe you'll see him soon up there. But yeah, I just I find things in the weirdest places, and I never pay. Very rarely pay full price for things. There's certain things you have to pay full price for. Whatever. It is what it is. But yeah, we're back. It's a bit of a chatty one today. We're going to catch up on some things we've been doing, watching.
It's basically going to be a really long what you watch and what you play and what you read in. Because we haven't done that in a long time. So we've got to get all of those. Well, we have sort of, but not really. We've got to get all of the past times and condense it into one episode. But it's just going to be about this 1 week, probably. Yeah.
We do mention things from time to time, and then I like it that sort of once a month we get together and do a proper episode of what you're reading, what you're watching, what you're playing. So let's get into it. What you been reading?
It's ever since yours, and we watched those Kingdom movies, I can't stop.
Can't stop.
I watched the next movie. I have to say, the guy that plays Oki, he's just he's so good. He's got such a fruitiness about him. I don't know. When reading, there's something very camp about Oki, and it's just so funny. And the actor, I don't know his name because I didn't look into that shit. He's perfect. He might not be as big and as muscly as I like for the character, but great performance. Yeah, and then so I then had to carry on reading it because I can't just leave the story there, which is nice. I haven't got up to date in Kingdom in a hot sec, so it's a good time for a reread. It was a nice catch.
And you've caught up?
No, not yet.
Okay.
I've just finished the Coalition War arc. I am on I think I'm past the next arc, and I am on the coming of age ceremony arc. So the king's about to become the king, and because he's 22 or 21 now, he's not a little boy anymore. He's allowed to actually be the king. He doesn't just sit on the chair. He's allowed to talk. Before that, he has to shut up unless it's just agreeing with people for some reason. I don't know how that works. How the king just doesn't do shit. I know he's a kid, but it makes sense because kid kings are stupid. But
I guess there's a risk there that even if you were the smartest kid king, that maybe the next one who came across wasn't, and you get like a Joffrey sort of nasty little bugger.
Yeah, 100%. So I do understand it, and it's actually, well, I don't know. I don't know enough about Chinese and Japanese history to know that. I know there's fucking wars all over the place because the people that weren't kings really wanted to be the king and they weren't allowed to be the king. So while the king wasn't the king, they pretended to be the king, and then they don't like it when the king is king. So yeah, shit goes down. So it works in theory, but you always let the dickheads get to the top. Power corrupts. You get to be
Yeah.
like chancellor of the state or whatever, and you're like, well, you're still a kid, and I'm in charge. I've been doing this for like 10 years, bro. What about me? I just gotta do nothing now. Fuck you.
Yeah, I guess
I
that's
like
it.
being
You
in
just
charge.
become an advisor. But I also guess that's why some of those would then be like, "Oh no, the king fell ill. Oh, how
Oh,
unfortunate."
he fell off his horse. Oh, what shame. Shouldn't let him ride that one. That horse. Oh,
it's
there's an arrow
strange.
through his face. No, that it was
That
the
happened
horse.
after the arrow was on the floor. He landed on
The the horse is really talented.
it. He just turned around both through the face. Is it now you brought that up? It's very interesting. Like just how kings and queens and the power was very very visible back in the day.
Mm,
Although there was obviously machinations going on underneath, whereas now these sort of figureheads are just very much there in name alone.
yeah.
Um, they don't. Yeah, it's all the corporations now. It's interesting to see
It'd
how
be
it's changed, isn't it?
interesting. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see one actually be like, "Wait, mate, nah, you forget this is my country still. Like,
Yeah,
it's not theirs, but it, it'd be interesting because, like, not to like talk any. I don't know. Is this treason? No, it's not treason. It's just discussion. So, like, if when William becomes king, if he turned around and was like, "Oi, Parliament, shut the fuck up," who do
yeah,
you think the older army generals would be like, "Oi, hell yeah, go on."
do
There,
it.
some shit would go down, 100%. Yeah, and like the people as well would be like, you get all the old head English, like, mate, ease, like, all of them will be out. It'd be an interesting time.
I don't think it'd be
It,
interesting for us. I think that's. I think
no,
we
no,
would
no, it would
suffer.
suck, but that's when we're already gone. We're in Asia by then. But one of the it's all nice parts, but
To very quickly pull us back a bit to Kingdom. With Kingdom, what do you think about it? Allows it to be something that you can reread like you do. I've just noticed my laptop's plugged in. 2 sec. That would have been unfortunate very soon. Yeah, so what is it about Kingdom that draws you back to it time and time again? And what makes you able to read so many chapters and just love it? Like, what's its special sauce?
one, the art is fucking awesome. Like there are so many awesome panels, just like with so much detail in them that you don't see on the first read because you're reading it, you're absorbing the story, and then like on second and third rereads, like I'm going like this. I don't read it like this. Um, like you catch more of the details and stuff like that, and yeah, I appreciate it more because I look at it from a different viewpoint. Um, the story is just freaking awesome. There's so many great moments. There's so many orders. There are so many like epic speeches and armies moments that you're like, yeah, bro, I want to go fight a war. Let's give me a sword, but only like an old school war, which would suck worse because it would suck worse, but also more honor. Um, look the dude in the eye, unless you're an archer. But yeah, and I think I find Senin manga easier to reread because it's less shonen has got those first four arcs. Those first four arcs of shonen, no matter what, are pretty much the same, just different characters. They might have like a different order to arcs 2, 3, 4 of who joins the squad, but it's all about people joining the squad. Whereas Senin's sort of focus, it introduces you to a bunch of characters, and then you focus on them. Some of them will drift away for a little bit and come back in, and drift out, come back in. But for the most part, it's very character driven. So your introduction to the central characters is there right at the beginning already. And well, I might be chatting that. This is just what I think. So like you could rereading Berserk, although it's a arguably tough read, I'd find it easier to reread that than reread Naruto, say, or reread One Piece, because all those start arcs are very generic. One Piece has got a bit of charm to it, and Naruto's. I mean, yeah, I could absolutely, reread all of them, but it's the starts I find hard to get through sometimes, which is my problem with watching some of the new shonen animes. So I think because the story is more mature as well. It's not about 10 to 15-year-olds. It's about 17 to 25-year-olds. So it's for a slightly older audience, maybe. And because it's written that way, it's easier for me to reread. But similar to like books I've reread, like I've reread Game of Thrones like 4 times.
Have you?
Yeah, like a ridiculous amount of times. My hard copies all have broken, sort of thing. The binding is fucked, like in half. I've got Feast of Crows is literally in 3 parts because I just read them all the time. I'd finish them and start again.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it's probably my favorite manga.
Yeah.
Thinking like,
I know it's up there for you, and when we've discussed Kingdom before, it's always been, you
it's always in top 3 at least. But I mean, I think for longevity, just because it really is probably number 1 for me. I love One Piece; it's great, but it's slow.
Yeah.
And slow. But it is what it is. I love it for that and in spite of that. But just some of the panels in Kingdom, bro. I'll send more because, like, the problem is I don't want to send like too many panels because they're spoilery.
I'll forget them. My memory's awful.
I know. Still, like that last one I sent to the group chat. I don't know if you remember, it was like last week, I think.
Yeah.
Just 2 people with their weapons like about to clash, and when you actually look at some of the detail in it, it's just dude, like you get panels of dudes getting sliced in half. Although you don't actually see like blood and guts going everywhere, you get a visible line down the body and the weapon half in and half out of someone at the end. You're like, what just happened there? Yeah, it's fucking awesome. Well, it's like Dynasty Warriors, the manga.
Yeah, you need to have a look at that new game and see if it's something worth playing.
I do. I saw a 1,000 kill combo. No, 1,000 kill thing can pop up, but it looked a bit too flashy. You know what I mean? I don't know.
You like
I would give it a go, absolutely, but it looks lovely, but yeah, maybe I don't know. If the demos, I think there was a demo on the store. Maybe I'll give the demo a go.
Yeah, definitely give a demo a go. And for those who aren't sure whether or not the story of Kingdom might be for them, I think the live action that we watched is really good. Intro. So yeah, give it a go. Have a taste.
I will say there is an unfortunate minute and a half at the end of the last movie.
Oh really?
Yeah, it's just really bad camera angles.
Okay.
Really, really bad camera angles. It's hilarious.
How do they? Yeah. Okay. Well,
if you watch it, you'll see, and I will fully expect a message because it's that obvious.
Wow.
And I mean, it's great though.
Well, yeah. Despite all that, so jumping in point for King, because the anime way back when, so if you haven't heard,
a tough watch.
Yeah,
to start.
It's got a weird style to it.
Yeah, very.
And then a lot of the subs are a bit weird, and
Yeah.
yeah, the dub, I just bit odd, but great. If you were, if you want to get stuck in, the manga as well would also be a good place. So.
There's a good 800 odd chapters for you to sink your teeth into, and I would say, yeah, I can't really say what arcs to get to. I'd say get to the Coalition War arc, because the Coalition War arc is fucking awesome, and you'll know when it happens.
You'll know. I love one of those.
Oh, so many moments. It's just got it's great.
Well, I haven't been reading much new. I did read the first volume of Trojan X, which you got me for Christmas.
Oh,
You got
nice.
me, and I haven't gone any further just because I haven't had the chance. But I really liked the start. It seems very different, but also very similar. If that makes sense, it has that Tokyo Ghoul
This
theme to it.
vibe,
Yeah,
it's lighter.
yeah,
Just because I don't know, the art style is more cartoonish.
yeah. And then there is
There's more
that.
like a Toon Force element to it. It's not, but there it's
There's the dark aspect of the MC's power as well. You'll see him really struggling, and he's because not to go into spoilers, really, it doesn't. It's been out for ages, but it becomes deformed for a while. I don't know if that is forever. It's not by the end of the first volume, but it makes things very difficult for him.
excuse me.
And him trying to deal with that, I found really interesting, and I'm looking forward to more of where it goes. There's sort of like a lot of intrigue with sort of sub characters, and yeah, so Trojan X, it was completely off my radar until you very first mentioned it, and yeah, the volumes are beautiful. Those front covers are really
Yeah.
special.
Yeah. I figured this one you'd appreciate the hard copy.
Yeah,
Physical.
physical. That's it.
Yeah, that's one.
And then the other thing I've done is I can't really talk much about it at all because of next week's episode, but I am into the second book of Dungeon Crawler Carl. First time I've read something on a Kindle as well. And
Nice.
Although sometimes I accidentally skip the page twice, which I just need to deal with my fat thumbs, Kindles are great. And Dungeon Crawler Carl continues to be great. So
One of the things I love about Kindle is it highlights, it will underline parts of the book, which lots of people highlight.
yeah, I noticed
It
that.
kind of makes me approach. Yeah, it makes some quotes and stuff stand out more. It makes
Oh, okay.
to me. I'm like,
I turned it
makes
off,
me
so
stop
maybe I'll
and
turn it back on.
it does some funny ones as well. People are just like, I'd love if there was comments on it. That would be awesome.
Like in Dark Souls.
Yeah,
Leave messages for people. Oh my
Yeah.
god, this bit was amazing.
Yeah, and I don't know, some of the, like, when you get into like fantasy books and stuff, it like some of the deep quotes that
Okay.
people would say and makes you stop and be like, or you used to reread it a few times, and because I try and think about it from how other people may have thought of. It's like, oh, I know that it wasn't just me that found something funny, so I'm like, oh, good, I'm not a fully weirdo, and there's more of us. And again, like the good quotes and stuff, I'm like, oh, that was really cool. I'm glad other people thought that was cool too.
Yeah.
Um,
It's a
There's
good
a nice little social element to your reading, sort of.
I would turn it back on and see. I think it's because very first there was like something underlined on one of the pages. I was like, oh, I don't know what that is. And then I just was like, oh, off. But now I know why it's there. It's definitely worth checking
It's
out.
just popular highlights. So you
Cool.
can highlight, if you hold down a bit, it'll let you highlight and pick different colors for stuff for some reason. I imagine it's good for if you're doing textbooks.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, of course, because, yeah, you can do other things with Kindles. Pretty clever bit of kit. And very much big up that Kindle Unlimited for dirt cheap because it makes it worth it as long as you're prepared to read for a little while. Is there anything else you've been... someone at my door. I don't have to get up. There's other people. Is there anything else you've been reading that you'd like to drop in before we move on to what we've been watching?
No.
No?
Kingdom.
Kingdom, yeah. That's the thing. But sometimes when you get engrossed in something, it just takes over, right? So there's three main things that I've been watching. So I don't know if you want to talk about any of them as well beforehand. But so it's Blue Lock. I watched all 2 seasons, and I want to talk a lot about that. I watched the anime. I'm a Spider, so what? I think it's called.
Yeah.
And I watched quite a bit of that, and then the last one. So Solo Leveling has come back, and I didn't even realize. And so that's 4 episodes deep.
I'm on episode 3 of that. So
Cool.
I'm not fully up to date, but I'm nearly there.
Wicked. So yeah, they're the three I'd like to have a little natter about. What about yourself?
What have I been watching? I caught up to date on the dub of Shangri-La. I can't remember where that got to though.
Nice.
Solo Leveling. I've watched. I've been watching like the old historical shit, man. There's a TV show I like called The Last Kingdom.
Okay.
I've been rewatching that just because it's something to have on in the background more than actually pay attention to it. I have it on while I'm reading Kingdom. So.
Perfect.
All the fantasy.
To pull you back to Solo Leveling, what do you think of the new episodes?
Good. It's been good. It's been quick, which I appreciate. It's not much further than where I've to go than get up to date, I don't think. Well,
really?
Not up to date, because there's Solo Leveling, there's Solo Leveling Ragnarok.
Okay.
So they get into Ragnarok real quick, because, man, I see some power scaling threads where it's like Sun Jin-woo just, like, solos almost everyone. And I'm like, what? Okay, sure. I've read some things.
So have you not? You've stop me here.
I'm not up to date on the webtoon.
Oh, okay. Cool.
It's not the Chimera Ant arc, but it's basically the Chimera Ant arc.
Oh, sick.
Coming up, sort of thing.
Fun.
Similar.
Okay, so
that's where I got to.
I'm enjoying that I have no idea what's coming in these episodes, so it's all new, and I found that the combat has already taken it to another level. From the beginning. A lot more. We were talking about how that fight at the end, the Icarus fight, was just really special, and I feel like there's more of that. And obviously Icarus is back, so that helps, although he is sort of just in the background most of the time.
Yeah, he's like the trump card, isn't he? He's like, oh, boss got be too close. Icarus, go.
But something I found very surprising, and this is about the story of Solo Leveling, and I don't know if maybe in the manhwa it goes over it a little bit differently or explains a bit more. But you had, I can't remember his name, but the tanky guy with all the shield and the lance and whatnot. And
there was more to it.
Okay, cool. Because in the anime,
I'm pretty sure
he just
like they go out gathering and shit, don't they? They like as well. They don't just get those supplies. I know there was a bit more to that. I'm pretty sure. But
I just found it.
It just for his bit, it was one and done.
And it was the way that Sung Jin killed him, but there was no. So basically, the way I see it, he has only ever killed another human completely in self-defense when someone is proper, like, I'm about to murder you. And the guy seemed a little bit, I'm going to murder you, but not as extreme as maybe he's had it in the past. And he ended him quick and then was like, hand back you come. Like that, it was shocked me.
He was going in for a, like, sucker punch, basically, though, wouldn't he? So,
yeah. I guess, and that's where the
sorry, my dude's sword is better than your shield. Sorry, bro.
It's fair.
But now give me your shield.
I'm looking forward to what the story's got to come, and I do feel like I'm just going to have to just read ahead, just get the story, get it done. It
is just like, as the kids say nowadays, Aura Farm the anime. It's like, how much cooler can Sun Jin-woo get?
He's getting pretty cool. It's got to be said. Like some of these moves he pulls out.
He's like the edgelord, otaku edgelord, like god, basically. Like any keyboard warrior now just wants to be Sun Jinru.
So not to get too much into the spider anime, because I know it's one that you've sort of got a bit of a curiosity about. So definitely no spoilers. But what's really cool about this one is it's like a split anime at this point. So there's
Okay.
two stories happening simultaneously, and it's all based on the fact that a school of children, like a classroom of children, were isekai'd. We
Oh,
don't know
okay.
how or why or anything like that, but the fact that
Damn.
the whole classroom went, including the
Big truck.
teacher, yeah, massive truck. And so most of
Trip
these
off.
are isekai'd as adventurers and heroes and all this stuff, and then you have the girl as the spider. And so, other than the fact that they were both isekai at the same time, the two stories don't interconnect. Other than that, they kind of start to, but they don't really massively interconnect. So it's really interesting that you've got the spider anime part, which is what was the full title? The slime. I've been reincarnated as a slime
Yeah.
anime. Is that so? She is just starting weak and killing bugs, and then killing bigger bugs, and then gaining skills and blah blah. And oh wow, I've got an aura. You know, it's that sort of a.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah,
see it
yeah,
coming.
yeah.
It's obvious, but the way it's done as well is amazing. In the fact that it's not done quick. It's not just like
Okay.
in slime. It's an episode and it's done. It's I really need to fight an ant. There's an episode on that. It's not just throwing it away.
There's another anime that's like that. There's so what? I maxed out my vitality.
Oh, I wonder if
That's a
maybe
that's a good one.
I wonder if they were connected, or if it's just that it's so what I'm a spider, so what I maxed out, and it's just similar. But it'll be
The
interesting.
the vitality one's funny. It's about a VR MMO as well. It's not
Okay,
isekai.
huh?
It's a VR game.
So I guess not
It's
connected
very funny.
other than by name. But yeah, I would. I haven't finished it. I finished season one, and I really I like episode after I binged season one. It was a very easy to binge anime. So
It's definitely on my list.
yeah, I it's not one I would take off. So yeah, I'm really happy I watched that, and it's one that again, if you look at the image, it's a pink spider with like funny text on there. And you're like, oh, is this something I really want to watch? But yeah,
It is.
I'm glad I did. Yeah, so it's good. And then I can't believe it took me this long to watch Blue Lock. I mean, I can because
It's a football anime, you know.
yeah, bit about me.
It's weird
I
getting into the
hate
sports
football.
ones. Yeah.
I've always hated football. I've always felt bullied by football because I was never good at it. So football's important for boys at school. I think it's something
Yeah.
that brings people together. And so when you're already feeling a bit outcast and then you suck, it doesn't help, and so you just end up hating it. So
I got very lucky. What boys living on an estate? It was come out, play football, come out, play football, come out, play football, and yeah, I had to learn. And
fair
like
enough.
8-year-old me playing against all the 13, 14-year-olds as well. It's like the amount of times I got pelted in the face with a ball.
Well, it sounds like you've gone through your own little bit of Blue Lock training there.
Yeah, a little bit. The Streets edition.
Well,
We
there
didn't
is.
have no arena. We had a cage with a cage with some painted lines. It was good.
So there is 2 seasons of Blue Lock. The first one is about 24 episodes. It's massive. And then the second one is about 14, so much smaller. And it's really good to me. So I think I was just like, I have to finally break down and watch this. Everyone is saying how good it is. And I've never given a sports anime a chance, really. So let's try it. And from the get-go, it just drew me in because
It is good.
it's not about football. It is about football, but it's not about teams and fans. It's not about football.
Yeah.
It's about athleticism.
Ego.
Yeah, it's about ego. Um,
Are
absolutely.
you an egoist?
And when I first saw that character as well, I was like, villain, clearly the villain. And as things progress, you're like, no,
They
he's
made
the hero. Like, yeah,
the character. They
it's
made
that,
just
isn't
it's him. Like
it?
yeah.
He is a genius, and it's a character anime, so it's not just like it's a character anime tournament arc.
Yeah,
Like,
it's just one giant tournament arc after
and
tournament
that's
arc after tournament arc within a tournament arc.
yeah, and the tournament arc also comprises the training arc at the same time.
Yeah.
They don't do training arc to tournament arc. It's
No.
training in the tournament arcs.
Yeah.
Fucking, of course, it makes so much sense. It's football. It's what happens. It's match, match, match. But yeah, yeah. I don't have much bad to say about it at all.
Like when I started reading it, I couldn't put it down. I think I read it in like 4 or 5 days.
Yeah, I
Just
can
blah, blah, blah,
see
blah,
it.
blah, 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 blah. It. Well, that's just me anyway. Like I would have dropped it if it wasn't good. If it
Yeah,
for a sports anime, like although I've never read the basketball ones or the volleyball one. It's like,
yeah.
well, I work in football, so I might as well read it. Um,
I think it might be my next watch, like one of those, because if it's got similar, I don't know. I'd like to compare them because I think with Blue Lock, it's also about the fact that there are no, I don't know how to word it properly, but there are no like additional side characters. So you do have the side characters in the sense that they are the other players in Blue
mm,
Lock, but all of them are also their own main characters because of the ego. So you get
yeah,
times
yeah,
where you're all finding out all about, for example, Nagi, or yeah. And I think there's even an entire film just trying to get his perspective of the tournament and stuff. It's very
yeah,
cool. Um, each and you don't then get just the people. There's no one walking in the background. There's no other people. It's
yeah.
all
It's just
obsessed with the
characters.
same thing.
Yeah, yeah,
There's no one to save. There's no
yeah,
other enemies just turning up out of the blue. It's no, this is what it is. You know what's happening. It's black and white. And yeah, you get surprises. So at the end of season 2, everything potentially with Blue Lock's going to end and they're going to have to change everything up. And okay, we're not going to fight each other for the hot minute. We're all going to make some teams and we're going to go out and win the under 20s World Cup. Or no, eventually, but fight the under 20s
yeah.
World Cup team, which for me was like, oh, this is it. They gotta go. And oh, look, one of the main guy's brothers is there, and he's Rin Isha. He said, oh, Rin. Yeah, very, very, very cool. Um,
It is cool. Like sports animes are good when they're well written. Like I've read some. I've read a couple. Well, things they're more like they're combat orientated. So I've read a couple of karate ones and hijami, um, and a few like I guess they're like MMA ish ones,
yeah,
like Baki and stuff like that. But they're a bit more crosses the borders away from sports. Baki and Kengan.
yeah.
So they're sort of sports, but it's not really. Um,
Because this is just about the sport of football
yeah,
and the physical athleticism needed and plays, but at the same time not. And that's the another reason, because it's not like I need to. They have not once gone offside, and that's the joke, isn't it? I know what the offside rule is, and I could spot it if it happened, but they're not making it overcomplicated in that way. They're
yeah.
focusing on we are all strikers. All that matters to us is
I
the
just want to score a
shot.
goal,
Yeah,
score a goal, score a
it's
goal, score
about
a goal.
how can I score a goal. They've
Yeah,
broken it down into the most basic of football, which is make goals,
score,
which is one of the things that
score,
I get
win.
bored of with football because normally 2-0, 2-1. It's pretty rare to get higher than that. It's not a big scoring game because of defense and because of all this. But yeah, I just am shocked at how good it is,
Mm.
and I've told it's one that I'm going to sing, sing from the rooftops, and I'm gutted that the next season is going to be so far away, years away. Um, some of the negatives, yes. Sometimes the animation is so, they save a lot
Yeah,
of money by just putting, everyone stands still and yeah, it's like little fish people and the game's not actually moving. The camera is just panning across the still image and things like this. But I see why they save that money because then you get these mad
that end up.
animations.
Yeah, that ending episode they were kind of hard.
Goes
They did
so
that. They had
hard.
to have done that one first. Like, right, we got to get this one out of the way and see what we got left, please. Because
It's,
and then like, oh shit, we got nothing left. Hey, you remember how South Park started? Let's cut out some pictures.
well, they've made it work, and yeah, I hope the story continues. The other thing I would say that is maybe a bit of a negative about it is that when you have an anime like this and it has that same sort of shojin sensibilities, is that they're going to win, like they're going to win eventually. So maybe they'll lose along the way, but eventually they're going to win because the story's got to
Yeah,
continue. So when they were against the under 20s, I was like, part of me wants this to go badly for them and something else to happen. But at the same time, yeah,
and it was always going to come down to the last like 3 seconds,
yeah,
and it makes it a little anticlimactic. But because if the build is good, you
yes,
don't remember, and
no.
the build was good.
Yeah, and if the payoff as well is good, then you
Yeah,
don't mind. So if
yeah,
the payoff was
exactly.
like, oh, I slipped and suddenly got to go, whoop, no way. But it's no, everything
No,
that's built up from the past, from all 30 odd episodes you've watched.
yeah, the four dimensional chess of that is football. Like
Yeah.
I did this 17 minutes ago. I kicked
Yeah.
this ball here,
But,
making you think that I would do that next time.
mm,
But obviously, more than that, like that,
and
my brain can't do that. So
yeah, it's just really good. And how Ego does just constantly like brain fuck these
yeah,
players, like
yeah, these
constantly
kids
like,
are
this is what it's
definitely getting
about. It's all
groomed.
about being number one. And then it's like, haha, I lied. It's not really about that at all. It's actually about this. It's brilliant.
Definitely grooming them kids.
Yeah. 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 Oh god. Yeah, that's why he's Blue Lock 11. They're very special. Just through my mic. But there, and I am very excited about what is to come because now Blue Lock are, my understanding is they are now the under 20 World Cup team, the Blue Lock 11, and they're going to be training for that World Cup. So the next arc would be a World Cup. Would it be? I don't know. But eventually, right? We're going to see that. I guess. I don't know. So
Oh yeah, yeah, it
it
will come.
it see
I hadn't reached that yet, but I wasn't much further.
okay.
So
I'm glad that it doesn't seem like they're going to get rid of these characters because something I was quite sad about is eventually everyone's going to go because that's how it works. They're trying to get to this number one striker. There will
yeah,
be one left, but now that there is a
but
team,
yeah, they're
it's a
gonna
bit
just have a
different.
team of strikers,
Yeah,
but
and
because a team with the ego of
yeah,
strikers. Yeah.
and they are technically all strikers. But for example, the
Oh yeah, yeah,
defender,
yeah.
the goalie now, the new I can't remember his name, but he's so sick. And he like falls and then does a scorpion kick sort of thing to get the ball. And it's like, yeah, if you put strikers in places, if
Yeah.
you know they know
They'll
how to
do
catch a
funky
ball.
shit. You know,
Yeah.
it's
So
weird. Yeah, because actually no, I'm not going to say that because I might be chatting shit. But I was pretty sure that like I've seen a bunch of when like a goalie gets sent off and you've got to put a player in goal. Like putting a striker in goal is not a bad idea because
yeah,
you're going to think more like the person coming at you
yeah,
just trying to score. So you might be shit at actually trying to save, but being in the right spot is probably half the game, you know.
yeah. No,
And you get a lucky
absolutely.
hand out. You're not normally able to use your hands, so oh, extras, nice.
I am curious because you've read it. I feel like it's such a fluid. And I mean, yes, like, things keep stopping, like I said, but it's very fluid anime. And I feel like a lot of that would be missed in the manga. But does it flow quite well?
From what I remember, yeah. I mean, I have no bad memories of reading it.
That's good.
So, like I said, I went through it in days. I mean, there wasn't all that many chapters, but yeah, I ran through it.
Yeah,
So
maybe I'll read a bit just to
it's cool.
see.
It's good art as well. I mean, it's because it won't suffer from the janky animated episodes. It, in my eyes, would probably still be better because it'd be consistent all the way
Yeah.
through. And like those really cool moments, all of it's a bit like that instead
Oh,
of just a really cool moment being really really cool.
yeah. Oh, okay. Maybe I'll have a look at reading the next arc in anticipation because I don't want to wait all that time. But now I've got so much to read. It used to be that I was like struggling, not sure because just overwhelmed, and now I've got a list of things that I read through. It's picking
Yeah,
up.
you got a good little shelf.
Yeah, definitely do. They're
There's
surrounding
gonna
me
be
a
a new
bit.
one there soon.
Yes.
Well, not necessarily. Might be on the Kindle, but
Yeah. Who knows? So to get into what we've been playing,
yeah,
everyone knows what I play now because I stream it. So I've been playing Monster Hunter and Astrobot, and it's the same things I've been playing for a while. And you've been playing or continuing to play a very popular game, haven't you?
yeah. I play Path of Exile 2 a lot this week, and this week has been a very transformative week for how I play the game.
Ah,
Because before I was I didn't trade before. I mean, I didn't have the currency to trade before, to be fair. But I hadn't ticked the box for it, but I was a solo self-found sort of thing. I would use the currency trader, but I wouldn't buy items from the trade website, which is just peer-to-peer trade, is person-to-person stuff. And I hit a wall again. I got further with my mage, so I made a mage build. I got further with that than I did with my archer build. And I was like, you know what? What's going wrong? And I was looking at my gear. I was like, right, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is. I've got the gist of it, and my second character was better than my first. But I was like, right, I want to see what it's like when you got good shit. So I was like, I'm going to investigate the trade website. And I had a look, and I watched a video on how to actually build the character that you're playing for a cheap setup and what to actually do instead of
Okay.
just like winging it. Oh man, I feel like now I'm actually playing the game.
And how many hours do you
Like,
think you're at? Like, but when you really like, so without having to delve in, you've massively enjoyed it, right?
oh yeah, 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 I loved it.
That
I
it's
played it like Dark Souls more than like an ARPG. I've been rolling everywhere. I was like, my archer has less health than my mage, which it sort of makes sense, but also doesn't make sense. Although I don't get hit a lot because I got a lot of evasion on that character, I still like something goes ping and I'm like, what? Um, yeah, and I could like melt mobs. I could get through content on my archer, but once it got to like bosses, that my build didn't work so great on them. Now I'm doing bosses that are like 8 levels higher and
wow.
on my mage, and like they're just gone. Well, not all of them, but yeah. So it's actually fun. It's fun playing it like a proper ARPG. I mean, I had sort of been doing it. Like I've been following videos on like what build to use. I've been using a lightning build. There's a nice one. There's a couple of other things you can do. Um, and because the skill tree, the passive tree, is so fucking huge on Path of Exile. Um, yeah, you sort of just like I didn't really know where to go. I go in generally in a good direction, but there was like certain things to pick up that would just make you so much better. Um, and yeah, knowing what to do has made it a bit more enjoyable. Also, a couple of days ago, no, actually not a couple of days ago, when they released the most recent patch, they updated it so consoles could apply loot filters. So on PC, you can create a loot filter so that certain items will just when they drop will be blue. So like the one I've got at the moment, skill gems and support skill gems, when they drop, they're blue. When a cool light something else drops, it got massive text, and you hear a boing when another thing drops. It's got slightly bigger text, but not massive, and it goes bling. And you couldn't do that on console when the game released, and you can now. And so you can people upload presets onto the Path of Exile website, and you can download their preset and use theirs. And it's changed the game. It's made it again more like an ARPG because before all my currencies were like the same color on the floor. It doesn't matter if it was like an exalted orb, which is like a mid tier currency, a regal orb, which is sort of like mid low tier currency. It'd all be the same color. But an exalted orb is so much better than a regal orb. And because they're all the same color, your brain sort of scans over them all because you're moving quite quickly and you'll miss stuff. But now it's like, bring, oh, okay, right, go over there, get that. And the amount of times I've been used to run back through a map and be like, how the fuck did I miss that? Yeah, it's been fun.
How do you load it to your console? Is it like a long thing or?
So no, it's really easy. So like on console, you can well, I go onto the config menu and I go onto loot filters, and on the drop down there is, well, next to the drop down there's a web. it's the old like internet symbol. I think it's the old internet symbol. It's like a globe with the longitude and latitude lines on it. And so you click on that, and it takes you to the Path of Exile website, and it takes you to a list of already made uploaded filters, and you copy the file and you add it to your Path of Exile account on the website. So it makes that loop filter available for all the characters that you create. So you don't actually have to do. You could make your own one if you wanted. It would just be a bunch of playable settings, but because it's tuned for PC, you can do it that way, and it's easy. Trade is also I thought would be a right fucking nightmare, which is why I didn't do it before. But either you can so on PlayStation, you can just push start and go to trade website, and it will load up a browser on your PlayStation, and you can sign in with PlayStation, and you'll sign into the trade website. You it's a bit annoying, like searching because you got to use the analog sticks, but and when you leave the browser, it doesn't save your previous search, so you got to do it all again. Um, but then it will just list all the items for your filter sets, and you next to it will say direct whisper. You click on that, and it will send a message to the person in game. I close the browser window and see if they send me an invite. They'll send you an invite. You teleport to their little house or their hideout and trade them. Do a little spin, say thank you, and fuck off. Sometimes it might take a hot sec because if like five people are trying to get the same item, you might not get it, so you got to wait a few minutes and see. Sometimes, so that can be a bit long. Like it took me like 5 hours to get all the gear I needed, but it was well spent. Like it was worth it. Like I've had a lot of fun.
It's nice that that's another option that you don't just have to grind at certain enemies to get
Yeah,
that stuff. So,
yeah,
but you can do it if, say, for example, it's not up there. Well, you've got another option. I'll go get it myself.
yeah.
Is there a goal at the moment that you're aiming for with it, or is it just get more powerful, get skills up, or is there
So
like
is a there is an end game boss. Well, yeah, there's a few end game bosses, and I would like to see what they are.
okay?
I've got all of my ascendancy points, which is quite good. Hello, Bowie. Um, yeah, but I need to find. So on the big end game map, you need to find three big citadels, and you get an item from each of those bosses, and then you can go to this other big tower, put those items in, and then you can fight that boss. But it takes fucking ages to find the citadels because the map is hidden by a fog of war, and you've got to progress, do maps, find towers to see more. I've finally seen my first tower, my first citadel though, because they updated that on the patch as well. So there's like a big beam of light comes up on the map when you're getting close, so you can sort of see a bit of a beam. You're like, all right, keep going that way. Um, it's got a lot more fun now for me. It was nice because on my archer, I knew I was going in the right direction when I was looking at builds because I didn't ever have to change much. But I always just thought I could muddle through with finding gear when I have no idea really what I'm doing and looking for with those sort of games. Like
Yeah,
on Diablo, I just picked up something that it looked cool and let me spin to win, and I could play like that. It was fine. But Path of Exile, if you want to play properly, and I say properly, I don't mean properly, but you know what I mean. If you want to really play the game, you've got to, yeah. There's people that know what they're doing, and if they've got a very easy way for you to do it, you'll get to be able to doing that eventually. Because by doing it a few times, when you eventually do one of your own sort of characters, you'll be like, okay, cool. I need to go this way. I need to get this sort of thing, this sort of thing, this sort of thing, this sort of thing, and it will, in the long run, make it a more enjoyable experience.
nice.
And
I'm getting the itch, man.
it's good, man. Honestly, it really is. Like to the point, I bought some currency
Oh,
for it to get some more stash tabs because I was running out of space. Like, and I filled up one of them. I bought some special ones so you can get some specialized tabs that are like. I bought one that is for unique items. So you can put one of every unique item in the stash tab, and it will like list them like a dictionary sort of thing for you, which is cool. And then a couple of ones for like crafting things. I haven't gotten onto selling my stuff yet. I'm gonna figure that out
Yeah.
because I've got some stuff that I think is probably worth a little bit, and if that could then
Nice.
make me get cooler shit to be able to, who knows, man? Numbers go up. I want to get to 1 million DPS. I'm at 20 something thousand at the moment, so we've
Little
got a way
ways
to
to
go.
go. Little ways to go. Is it possible? Million DPS?
Yeah. Oh no, I'm
No.
probably not going to get there, but I'd like to get to the hundreds, like quarter mil. We'll aim for quarter mil first.
Come on, Bill, first. Well,
Yeah,
keep us updated.
we'll see. I'm stacking my exalts. Slowly getting currency. I'm getting better. To be fair, at the moment it's literally hold R2 or like tap R2.
You still soloing?
Yeah, I don't play with people. I mean,
Yeah.
if Ken plays, I'll play with. I'll jump on and I'd play with him. But I think he's going to start a new character. But when he starts a new character, I'll start a new character with him because your stash crosses all your characters.
That's so
So
cool.
yeah, I've got some stuff.
Got some stuff. And is there? Have you got an idea of the next character you'd want to play as?
Yeah, I want to play crossbows next.
Ah,
Oh, actually, I played ranger. I should go warrior. Play a slammy build because I think now with some money, well, in-game money, it might be a bit not easier but better because melee looks from the start it looked like one of the harder builds to play, or maybe a minion build, or I don't know. We'll see because there's the great thing is there's only 6 classes available in early access, and there's
okay.
4 or 6 more coming when the game releases. It's a few more months to go, but probably a bit more than a few months. But there's
Yeah.
even more.
I'm definitely getting the itch. I think that maybe I'll hold off until release, and that way I can finish off some of the games I've got here, finish off Monster Hunter with you, and then really get stuck into Wilds before. Yeah, it's just too many games, man.
When Wilds comes out, I'll probably will slow down on Path of Exile
Yeah,
a fair amount because
which is I think
But then when Path of Exile comes out properly, I'll absolutely come back onto it because there's the 3 more story arcs as well. So,
and that's free to play when it comes out as well, isn't it?
yep.
Yeah. So
Cool thing is, even if you buy it, you get. So if you buy the base pack, which is like $23.99, you get the game, but they also give you 300 currency, which is basically free. It's not, but it's like you've got the game for free and purchased a currency pack on top, basically. And it's the exact. So 200 coins is £15, and 100 was like 750. So they're pretty spot on with what they're giving you back.
fair enough.
And yeah, when I worked that out, and I didn't realize that I got the currency. I just thought I was just paying for early access. And then when I got the current, I was like, wait, I can buy a crab. What's going on here?
I can buy a crab. That's part of XR2. You can buy a crab.
You can be a crab person.
Crab people, crab people. See, I always go to
That's
South Park.
That's the other next goal. Oh, soon you'll go to Brandon Sanderson.
That's why. Yeah, I knew that's why because you told me about the crab people. But yeah, I'm still crab people with South Park. Wow, wicked. Another good one.
Up. Yeah.
Like sometimes we sort of sit at the start of the podcast. We go right. We should catch up. But do you think there's enough to catch up with? Oh no, let's just see how we go. And there always is. There's always lots we can catch up with.
Yeah.
You know, some of the stuff that we've spoken about before. Obviously, we did the Path of Exile 2 intro, popular video that we've got. Yeah, so people are always interested in hearing how that's going, I'm sure. So really, really good that you're still enjoying it. Keep us updated, and we'll work on that. Getting you onto Twitch. I want to see you playing that game.
Yeah. All right. Send me the details.
Yeah.
I will connect I'll connect my account and
Sick. Right. The details.
We'll run some maps.
Details incoming. So yeah, keep your eyes peeled for Stephen playing Path of Exile. Join us Wednesdays for streaming. We always play Monster Hunter on a Wednesday, and then Mondays and Fridays. Who knows? It's a potluck.
It's a mystery.
it's a mystery stream. Most often it's Monster Hunter, but yeah, there's that. And then obviously the podcast every Monday up on Spotify and now on YouTube with the videos. So yeah, and we will end it there. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Those at home.
There's a camera. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
So I don't know why I pointed at me. It was that pointed then off screen. It really fucked me up.
All of you. I'm pointing everywhere. I don't know why I'm grabbing at things there. I will stop. Until next week, I've been Beyond Joe.
And I remain Stephen.
And thank you for joining us.
In another world. Ah.